This hat may have just saved my life. At the very least, it saved me from a bunch of stitches and a concussion. It might be hard to see, but the blood seeped through right there. My hat is just a little bit bloody. Thank you, hat. So I can't wear this hat today because I cracked my head. This video is kind of actually an apology because I really had all this great content that I planned on sharing with you guys, but I'm kind of in a lot of pain, so I can't do that much content. So I was just gonna quickly tell you guys the story of what happened. I do have a lot of great content planned. I've got some great Adobe tutorials and some great camera tutorials and a lot of stuff coming. It's just gonna probably have to wait a little bit. A couple quick things though. Number one, I got 500 plus subscribers in the last week. Thank you guys so much. I jumped from 400 to 500 in 1 week. That is awesome. That makes me think hopefully that I'm doing something right. I love making content for you guys, so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Another thing, in addition to the fact that I'm not really gonna be making that much content today because I cracked my dumb skull, my day job working on the show Timeless is also in overdrive right now because I'm working hard to bring you guys some content on NBC because we premiere next Sunday at 10 p.m. on NBC. Please tune in. If you guys watch it and you have any questions about like the visual effects or the process or the production process, hit me up and I'm glad to talk about it. But we are in overdrive on that show right now too, so I'm just a little bit busy with my day job right now, but it's still creative and you know, gotta pay the bills, right? Anyway, let me tell you guys what happened and why I cracked my head yesterday, and then I am going to go play some Overwatch and take it easy for the rest of the day. Yesterday was kind of a weird day. It started out all right. I had a nice breakfast with Becca. I had a nice lunch, and then my mother-in-law was gonna come over here. As you guys probably know, I live in this awesome place called the Americana. It's kind of like an outdoor mall thing. I live almost above an Apple store, so I'm like really in the middle of stuff here in Los Angeles. Becca's mother-in-law was coming to go check out an apartment. I grabbed my trusty GH5 and I was gonna take it to this apartment along with my iPhone, and I was actually in the process of shooting a video for you guys. I was gonna do a tutorial video on using Lightroom CC as a camera in the iPhone. I'm walking down out of the building and I have my camera just like this. Lens caps on, I'm just walking out the door with Becca like this. And at the entranceway to our exit, two of the security guards from the mall part like come up to me, and one of them's like, "You can't have that camera, you can't shoot HD stuff out here," and starts like really giving me a rough time and like honestly harassing me. And I'm not even like in the mall part yet. I'm still like inside, like I'm just like, "Buddy, I just need to like get out the door." And by the way, this is the third time people have accosted me here for just trying to use this camera. I get that you can't do stuff for profit out there. It's a business, blah, 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 but I don't monetize this channel. If I'm shooting photos out there, it's either just for personal fun or a little bit for this channel, but I'm not making any money off of this stuff. And also, I mean, come on, it's this camera and I can look out my window right now and see like 20 people using 5Ds and Sony cameras and GH5s taking all kinds of photos because it's a cool place. I've had this run in a couple times, but this is the first time that I actually felt like I was kind of being harassed. So I actually called the cops and I talked to the management here, and I ended up talking to the head of security for the whole Americana yesterday. He was super cool. He comes in and he's like, "First off, dude, like, I get it. I know about cameras. He looked at my camera and was like, "That's the culprit right there. Come on." Anyway, it turned out, long story short, it turned out that the guard was kind of new and just overcompensating a little bit. Everything is water under the bridge. It worked out fine. I'm really happy with how the Americana handled it. Hopefully, Americana people, you learn about cameras and YouTube and the difference between like professional and amateur and all that stuff. It got resolved, but it still was just kind of, you know, nagging me. Like my energy, my adrenaline got up for the rest of the day. After that incident, we decided we were going to all go out as a family and just grab a nice dinner somewhere. And I suggested we try someplace new. So we drive up the street and we park in a garage, and I'm just walking and I'm kind of talking to my mother-in-law, and Becca and her cousin Tom are ahead of me. And I swear to God, out of nowhere, there was just this air conditioning unit, which I still don't know what it looks like. I haven't seen it. I've just been told it's big, bright, and red, and I'm adult for missing it. But I just completely, wearing my Create hat, I just completely whacked right into it full force. It hit me like right here. It kind of like craned my neck in a little bit, which was really kind of bad. It like pinned me a little bit, and then boom, I just went down on my knees and fell face forward on the ground. I blanked out for just a second. I can't remember if I actually blacked out or if I was just dizzy or whatever. I honestly don't remember, but I just, you know, I remember I'm on the ground and Becca's like, "You need to take your hat off. I need to see if you're bleeding." And you know, it's just a little bit of general panic. And so I take my hat off. Obviously I thought it was worse than it is, because this is all that it ended up being. But, you know, I'd go like this and I have blood all over, and I look in my hat and there's blood, and, you know, I don't have anywhere to clean it. And one part of me is thinking my clothes, like the vein part of me is thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna get blood all over my clothes. The other part of me is thinking, I'm pretty dizzy. I should probably get to a hospital and just check my head out, because this is a little bit harder of a hit than I'm used to. Becca ends up taking me to the hospital. I've got some rag on my head. I go there, I put ice on it. They clean it. They're like, oh, this isn't bad at all. You don't need stitches or anything like that. But I do tell them that I kind of blacked out for a split second. And they're like, well, then you need a CT scan. Like, we can't let you leave until you have a CT scan. We wait there for like an hour. That they finally put me in for a CT scan. I get the CT scan. It's pretty simple. Then I have to wait like another hour. By this time, I'm actually feeling like pretty normal again. I mean, I've got a little bit of pain, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 1 or a 2. My mom points out that Natasha Richardson, Liam Neeson's wife, had the same problem, where she had an accident and didn't get it checked out, and 3 days later died of a freak brain hemorrhage. So I'm like, okay, at this point I should wait and get it checked out. So the CAT scan comes back, and the way the medical industry phrases things is almost as funny as the way we phrase things in the film and television industry, because it comes out and it says, Stefan, your brain is 100% unremarkable. Your skull is unremarkable, your gray matter is unremarkable, everything about your brain, checkpoint, 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 is unremarkable. While I felt a little dumb, what it actually meant was everything was fine. I didn't have a hemorrhage or concussion or crack in my skull or any of that stuff. I was good to go. Of course, by this time, Becca and I are starving. It's now 9 p.m. Remember, this happened before we went out to eat, so I hadn't had any food. I think the hunger was actually worse than the head injury by this point. So we went home, got some food, chilled out, and here we are right now. But I want to circle back to the real moral of this story, which is my wonderful Create hat. This guy right here has been a motivation for me. It's something I made almost kind of as a joke originally, but it really turned out to be something that I believe in and what this channel is about. If I wasn't wearing this hat, my head would have directly hit that thing. I guarantee you I at least would have had stitches. I very well could have had a concussion. So the padding on this hat actually very well may have saved my life or some major, major head injuries. Talk about kismet, talk about, you know, luck. I don't know what you call it, but this hat is has now cemented itself as one of the most important things in my life. So that is it for today, folks. I got a lot of great cool stuff coming up in the future. I promise you. Snake, who's not gonna rip me up right now, wants to say hi. Hi, say hi, Snake. Anyway, so there's so much cool stuff coming up, cool content. In my personal life, there's a lot of cool things, there's a lot of announcements coming soon that I can't talk about yet, but trust me, you are gonna want to know about them. Thank you guys again for tuning in. If you like this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I'm bringing you guys all kinds of knowledge about all things creative in the future. I think it's time to go play Overwatch. See you guys later.